Hello, we're going to take a look at the group project and see how to go ahead and lay out the race course, the first portion of the group project. You see I've copied the folder over here onto my desktop, and what I've done is started the Arc catalog and come over here to group project, and I have in the folder the MXD file, the Ultra Marathon Race. And we're going to go ahead and look at that first. I'm going to double click on that, and you see I'm starting up ArcMap. Now what I had open was the Arc catalog, and we'll be getting back to that in a second. But we're now going to look at ArcMap and see if, start off with, can we add the race course without doing anything further. But we're going to see that we can't. I'm just going to give you an idea of the difficulty that we have. And here we have the National Geographic world map that we're going to be using for the Ultra Marathon. I'm going to scroll out, and we'll see we'll come to Wisconsin. But if I come over here and I want to add a layer in order to be able to put information in there on the race course, what we'll see is that come over here, click on that, and in the editor, if I wanted to put in points and lay out the race course, start editing, and it says Ultra Marathon, no editable layers. So what I need to do first is set up and have an editable layer. So we're going to put this down over here and come back to Arc catalog. You see over here we are in Arc catalog. And what I want to do now is make a new layer that I can use and put the race course in there. So I'm going to come over here to new, and what I want to do is make a new file geodatabase. So I click on that, and now I have a new file geodatabase. And what I'm going to call that, I'm going to come over here and rename it. And this is going to be the race course. So now I have that put together, the geodatabase that I'm going to use in order to lay out the race. What I'm going to do now is come over to the preview tab, and actually I want to look at the group project. And look at the contents. Now I have the race course over here, and when I look at the race course, what I want to do now is new and have a feature class. This is what I'm going to be doing in order to set up the layer that I want in order to put the race course on the map. So you see over here that I have the name, which is race_course. You cannot leave spaces there, but for the alias I can. And now what I'm going to do is come over here, and instead of polygon features, I want to make line features, because I'm going to be going and putting the line in from point to point in order to lay out the race course. The next thing I'm going to do is click over here to the next item, and what I want to do is have the proper coordinate system. Now you see I have a bunch of choices over here, but I've done in the file folder over here that we had originally for the group project is WGS 1984 Web Mercator Auxiliary Sphere. Now that is the one that's being used for the National Geographic map. So I've already had this in my favorites, but if you don't have that, what we're going to do is go over here to import, and now I'm going to be taking a look at connect to a folder and my desktop, and I should be able to come over here to group project and click OK on that. And here I have my WGS 1984 Web Mercator, and auxiliary sphere, so I'm going to be picking that. I have that one. That is indeed what I want to use, so I have the same coordinate system as the base map. So now I'm clicking next, and you see I have the XY tolerance. I'm going to be measuring this in meters. The tolerance is 0.001 or 1/1000th of a meter. Click next on that, and I'm going to be using the default database storage configuration, and I'm going to be leaving this as a new feature class as the object ID and the shape, and finish up. And now I have my race course that I've finished laying out. So now I'm going to minimize that, come over here to my race course, and you see now I have, for the group project, I have race course laid out as race course GDB, but I have a bunch of files in here. This is going to be allowing me to put the information on the map. So what I want to do now is start up ArcMap, and you saw previously that I was not able to put data in on the race course, but now I'll be able to, and I'll be looking at that in a second here as soon as ArcMap opens up. So you see over here here's my coordinate system that I'm using, here's the geodatabase that I put together, and here is the MXD file that we're going to be using in order to lay out the race course. So we'll wait here for a second, and we see now that we do indeed have the map opening back up again. And now what I can do is come over here to add data, and I have my race course geodatabase that I just opened up, but that is from my home where I have the group project on the desktop. If you don't have that come up, you can come over here, connect to folder, be a desktop, come down and look at group project, and I'll be looking at race course geodatabase. So what we want to do is come over here and connect to this folder, and now we have the race course geodatabase that we had seen previously. Click on that, and here's our race course. That is the item that we're going to add over here. You now see I have another layer that's come up over here, which is my race course, and it's a line that I'll be able to add and lay out my race course. Now before I lay out my race course, what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom out here so you can see where I'm at. And again, where I'm at is with Wisconsin, and I'm just zooming in on the National Geographic world map. It's going to zoom in here and pick a spot to go ahead and lay out a race course. So here I'm at Germantown, Brown Deer, Glendale, and let's get over here to someplace that's near the IMET Center. And here we are at Racine. Now what I have is I have a layer that I can go ahead and edit. So now when I click over here on Editor, I can click Start Editing. And now I do have a layer. It doesn't give me any more warnings that I can't edit anything because I don't have an editable layer, I've put one in, which is the race course. So I'm going to come over here to race course, click on it, and you'll see down here for my construction tools that I have the ability to put in line. Now what I did previously is my system for measurements is going to be in meters, so all of what my measurement is going to be is in meters as I lay out the course. Now the ultra marathons that you're going to be doing for this project are going to be laid out either in a 50 kilometer, a 50 mile, 100 kilometer, or a 100 mile course. But what we have the ability to do now we clicked on the line is we can come over here and put in a line. You can see that I'm now having the line added. I'm going to click over here and just finish the sketch, which is just this portion of the line, but I can come over here and look at how far I've gone, and I click over here to attributes, and you see my attributes. I now have this line as being 6,383.8794 meters. Now there are 1,609.34 meters in a mile. So I'm going to do, in order to make this so I could start to put this together and have it measure in miles, is come over here to layer properties, and now I have layer properties come up, and in display, so I have it field of shape length. I can come over here to expression, and what I have is shape length, and now I can go ahead and divide that by 1,609.34, which will convert the shape length from meters to miles. So if you're planning on doing a 50 mile or 100 mile ultra marathon, laying out that map here, we're going to be able to click on that and say OK, and we'll be getting our reading in miles now instead of meters. So right now it's in meters. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get out of that, come back over here again, and click over here to attributes. Come on now. And my 6,383.8794 meters that I had converts to 3.966 miles. So you see what I've done now is by doing this, I can now lay out my course, and the length that I'm going to get when I look at the attributes is going to be given in miles. So I'm going to actually delete this and come over here and start to lay out my course with the line, and I can start to just put in points that I want to. You'd actually have some logic to what you're doing. I'm just putting points in here because what you can do is after you put these in is you can now move around and edit the vertices and change things as you see fit. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 vertices. Finish the sketch over here, and we'll be taking a look at how to go ahead and move these around. So to move these around, when I come up over here is looking at edit the vertices, and when I click on one, I can now move this around and change things as I see fit. If I want to put this on actual roads, whoops, let me come back over here to edit my vertices. But now I can start to move them around onto streets. As I see fit. what you see is I have up over here, I can add a vertex to this, I can delete vertices, I can continue editing, I can stretch proportionally, I can finish the sketch. So if I want to add a vertex, I can do that. Now I put one point in here, and I can move that. Now I can start to move these around as I see fit again, like I had mentioned before. And then when I'm done, I can go ahead and finish the sketch. And you can see that it's now laid out to the course that I put together, which of course doesn't match anything right now, but it gives you an idea of how to lay out a course wherever you would happen to want to do it. And if I come over here and I now pick the edit tool, but I'm going to come over here, click, and ask for the attributes. And I still have over here my race course is now 23,308 meters, but it would also be 14.48 miles. So this gives you an idea of how to go ahead and lay out the race course. When you're done laying out the race course, you can come over here and now change the color of things and make it so that you can see it. So over here I have picked Mars Red for a color. I now want to maybe make it a width of 4. But you can see I now have, here's my race course that I've laid out. Now you see I'm over here in the data view. On the layout view, if I come over here, now I can go ahead and put things in that I want to. If I want to have a scale bar, pick that out, click OK, and put that in. And in addition is insert the north arrow, and whatever else that I care to do in order to make the map distinctive and look nice in order to have it for a presentation. So this concludes looking at how you can go ahead and lay out your race course, which is one part of the group project that you're going to be working on. But this is giving you an idea. Here's how you lay out the race course. That you also now have the ability. What I have to do with this is at the end of this is stop editing it. I want to save my edits. But then you can over here is get an idea from when we looked at it before is, well, I got the wrong thing, I have to start editing again. Looking at the edit tool here, selecting my item, here's my race course length. You're going to have to lay one out that is, you could pick it and have it over here as 50 kilometers or 50 miles, whichever one you care to lay it out, and that be one portion of the group project. So this gives you an idea how to go ahead and lay out the course, and this finishes this portion of the group project.